Hey merfolk, do you like my mug? This isn't beer, this is tea. It's a cheers mug. Sometimes you wanna go where everybody knows your name, and they're always glad you came. I'm really glad you came here today. That was such a bad joke. You might be very surprised to know this, but I am actually going to put makeup on my face now, and I have no idea what I'm going to do. If you notice that the video quality is amazing, it's because I bought a new camera. I haven't paid for it yet, but I do have it and it's beautiful. I'm still playing around with the video settings, but I feel that it's pretty good. But if you notice something that you don't particularly like, please let me know in the comments. So first I'm just going to apply some moisturizer on my skin. I'm actually using the Cosrx Ultimate Nourishing Rice Overnight Spa Mask. This is a sleeping mask, but I actually really like it as a moisturizer under makeup because it's very, very moisturizing and it's also very lightweight. And I'm going to start this like I do all my eye looks for Instagram. I'm just gonna go for it and see where I go. I'm going to use this Kiko Long Lasting Stick eyeshadow in the number 13, and this is a lavender shade. I'm just doing this on my socket. I look very confident, but I'm not. So now I have this shape going on, and now I'm taking this nail art synthetic brush and I'm going to clean the edges off. I feel like I applied a little bit too much for what I wanted to do, but that's fine. I'm going to blend this downwards and clean up that line. I'm also going to connect it without putting any more product on the brush to the outer corner of my eye and create a little bit of a triangle shape here. Now I'm going to take this palette called Fashion Addict by MAC. This was from their Girls Personality collection, and seriously, what the fuck, MAC? The whole concept of it is a little bit sexist. Anyway, you know I don't buy palettes. My cousin gave me this for Christmas and I actually really like the shades in here. And I'm going to take this one here. This is kind of a blackened purpley. Any black and purple you have will do if you want to recreate this. I don't really think you will, so I don't think it really matters. So I'm going to take this on a flat brush, and this one is from Coastal Scents, and I'm just going to trace along the shape that I just did, mostly on the outer corner, and I'm going to bring it to meet the lash line. And I'm just following the natural shape of my eye, and this definitely makes my job a lot easier. I'm just going to take it on the side to create a little bit of a wing. And now I'm going to push that product inward. This brush is flat, but it has natural bristles, so it has a little bit of give. So it helps me kind of keep the edges slightly smudgy. I'm just blending that black and purple in, fading it out into the eyeshadow stick that I applied earlier. Now that that is done, I'm going to go into another Kiko eyeshadow stick. This is in the number 43. And it's more of a shimmering blue, and I am going to pop this on the center of my lid, and I'm also going to dab it along the edges of that purple. And if it looks a little bit messy right now, that's fine, because I am going to apply something else over top. So I went to Inglot recently to get this pigment. This is the Body Sparkle in 51. It looks white, but it shifts to a light minty teal. Just going over top Ooh, so gorgeous. I'm just using this over top of that blue. Now I'm going to take this Danessa Myrricks Color Fix in Primary Red. This is the old packaging and it sucks. They changed their packaging and it looks to be a lot more user-friendly. This one sucks. Always pumps out way too much. And I'm taking this on another nail art brush. This is also a flat synthetic one, but it's a little bit angled. And I'm going to try and not mess this up. This kind of stuff is so stressful to do on camera, you have no idea. I don't know if that looks good, but it's gonna have to do. Now I'm going to do the other side and cry internally. And I decided that I'm also going to take this a little bit on the outside. And I'm creating a little bit of a gap between the shape that I created before because I want to bring this wing a little bit higher with the red. So I am going to connect this here and fill it in. And yes, I am again crying internally. And there's this little thingy here. What is this? Oh, it's a hair follicle. Awesome. I'm just gonna let it do what it wants to do. Okay, so that is that. I am gonna go back into this shade here from my MAC palette. And I'm going to try to make this angle into something that I can bring into my lower lash line. And it's fine if it looks crappy because I have one of these here. This is a makeup remover wipe and I can just clean it up if I need to. I like to fold it so that I have a clean edge. And now I'm going to take a Kiko Intense Color Long Lasting Eyeliner in number 5 and I'm going to fill in my waterline just on the outer corner. And I am going to fade it into my lashes, so I'm going in kind of a diagonal line. And doing it like this is going to pinch my outer corners and it's going to make my eyes appear a little bit more lifted. Now I'm just going to apply tons of mascara. I am using my L'Oreal Volume Million Lashes Fatale. I'm going to try a new foundation. I have a sample of the Inglot Cream Foundation. I was very curious about that one specifically because I really love the packaging. And also it felt like a very lightweight, light coverage, hydrating foundation that is very perfecting. And I tried to get a sample of it, and the only one that wasn't dry in the tube in the store was the number 38. And I feel like the lady at the store convinced me that the number 38 was my shade because it was the only one that wasn't dry. Hopefully, because this feels like a light coverage foundation, it will not be too bad. But I really want to try this one. So I'm going to just take this from the cap. It's not horrible. It's actually not too bad because I have freckles. It actually is blending in quite nicely. Sometimes when you have freckles, you can get away with having a foundation shade that is just a couple of shades darker. So I'm using a Zoeva 110 brush to blend this in. And yeah, it's fairly light coverage, but it feels very creamy. But I'm also thinking that it doesn't seem to be very buildable. Yeah, it doesn't really build much. Looks okay. It's not blowing me away, but it looks okay. Considering it's such a light coverage, it is looking a little bit too foundation-y on me. I'm not sure if I was too zoomed in for this foundation process. I hope not. There's going to be a little bit of a learning curve with this camera now. Now I'm going to use concealer. I'm going to use the Innisfree Mineral Cover Fit Concealer. The camera cut off for some reason. I don't really get it, and I don't know where I was, but I am just applying my concealer under my eyes. And I'm trying to be super careful as to not disturb any of the eye makeup. And I think I've made up my mind already about this foundation. I don't like it. I haven't heard anyone talk about Inglot foundations before, and I was kind of curious, but maybe this one is not the one for me. It felt hydrating at first, but now it just feels very tight and it looks too matte. I'm just brushing my eyebrow hairs because I am going to do my brows. Anastasia Beverly Hills Dipbrow Pomade in Granite and my Zoeva wing liner brush. And now I'm just drawing in some hair strokes. I always use very little product on the brush because it's never good policy to go in with a lot all at once. So I'm just following the direction of the hair, so when I go towards the arch, I start going from top to bottom instead from bottom up. For blush, I'm actually going to mix some of that Danessa Myrricks Color Fix that is still wet, just because I don't want it to go to waste, with my Essence So Glow Cream to Powder highlighter. So I'm just mixing a little bit of both of those products on my palette, and I'm going to use my fingers to just plop them on the top of my cheeks. Well, and this sets down really fast, so I haven't really thought that through. I'm just going to build it up directly with the brush because I feel like it's kind of easier to control. I have clearly exaggerated. Well, I'm just gonna go back in with my foundation brush and try to dull that down. That was very naive of me. Good thing that I like blush. Sticking a little bit of extra concealer, just a tiny amount. I just want to get some of that blush away from my under eyes. I'm gonna use some of this highlighter on its own. I know I'm boring. I always use the same two highlighters, but they're my favorite. This one and the RMS Living Luminizer. For a change, I actually feel like I need a little bit of contour, and for that I will be using my Inglot eyeshadow in the shade 349. This is one of my favorite contour shades. It applies the exact right amount of shadow. So I'm just gonna go under my cheekbone, and I'm not going to take it past the eyes. I'm gonna stop at about here. And I'm using the brush that I use for my blush just to blend those shades together. I'm not going to powder my face today because I really think that this foundation needs the natural oils of my skin to make it a little bit less flat. For lips, I think I'm just gonna go for a juicy nude lip. I am using the No. 7 Precision Lip Liner in Nude. And I used it to overdraw my top lip slightly. And now I'm filling in. I don't overdraw my bottom lip, I just overdraw the top. It shortens the space between my nose and my lips, which makes my overall face look a little bit more balanced, in my opinion. Now I'm going to take one of my favorite nudes. This is MAC's Shy Girl, and I actually have it depotted into one of these sample jars here because I honestly don't remember why. I probably ruined the tube. So I just take it on my finger and dab it on top of my lips. I'm just using a brush to blur my lip liner out because that's just how I like my lipstick to look lately. Alright, so this is the final look. And this is it. I hope you guys like this look and this video, and if you did, please do not forget to give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. As per usual, there will be a list in the description box with every single product used in this tutorial, and there will also be links to all of my social media and other stuff. And yeah, thank you so much for watching. I hope you're having a great day, and I will see you next time.